This is Albert Grande from PizzaTherapy.com and LegendsOfPizza.com. I'm talking to Tim Huff of General Mills Flour, and I wanted to ask him about some of the recommendations he has for making pizza dough. What do you recommend, Tim?
Well, one of the things is when I work with folks in the pizza industry, I ask probably more questions than I tell them answers. A lot of it is really understanding the need of what the pizza operator wants. I come from the flour milling side of the business, and people will often talk about pizza flour, and honestly, that's one of my least favorite words. To me, we have a lot of flours that are used to make pizza, but the type of pizza is really what dictates the type of flour that you're going to use. As an example, if you're in the New York market, New York style thin crust, or high gluten flour called All Trumps, that's really the king of the New York pizza market. 14.2% protein spring wheat flour. It's milled from spring wheats that come from North, South Dakota, Minnesota area. It really gives you that strong gluten that you really need for a New York style thin crust, where you can sheet it out nice and thin, hand toss it nice and thin, but it still has a nice crispiness, but a good chew to it. If you go to the Chicago market, that's where you're talking about an all-purpose flour. So like Gold Medal Hotel and Restaurant all-purpose, generally in the range of 10 to 11% protein. That's really the type of flour that's used in that market. If you get into some of the more pan or hand toss type pizzas, you're getting into maybe a bread or a patent flour, 12.5% protein. Our products, full strength or superlative, are 12.5% protein spring wheat flours. One of the things that's coming into the market recently is there's a lot of talk about the double lot or the Italian type flours. For a pizza operator that wants to make their shop kind of the Italian shop, we use authentic Italian ingredients. Obviously, they're going to want to use the Italian flour. But if they're looking for a domestic match, a winter wheat flour like our Harvest King, which is a 12% protein, is an excellent domestic match for that type of product. So again, for me, there's really no such thing as pizza flour. We have a lot of different flours that are used to make pizzas.
Okay, that's great. You're educating me a lot about flours, so it really depends on the kind of pizza that you want to come up with.
Exactly.
And I personally have used Harvest King a number of times to make pizza. It turns out fantastic. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. What other flours do you recommend to make pizza? Are there any that you didn't discuss?
I mean, the three buckets that I just spoke about, the high glutens, the bread flours, and the all-purpose, those are kind of the three buckets that I put the pizza industry into. A lot of folks, though, they'll use flours to augment those type of flours, such as semolina. The New York market, I see a lot of folks that like to blend 10 to 20% of semolina. And semolina is the granular product that's milled from durum wheat. It gives the crust maybe a little bit more of a unique chew, a little bit of a different bite to it. Some people even say it kind of brings a nuttier flavor. Whole wheat, right now, the whole grains market, a lot of the folks are thinking, how can I put whole grain, whole wheats into my pizza? The one thing that disappoints me a little bit in the market is if someone's calling it a whole wheat pizza, it really needs to use 100% whole wheat flour. But most pizza formulas can't handle 100% whole wheat. You can't use any white flour. It really deteriorates the gluten structure of that dough. Most folks, though, I think can get away with in the range of 20 to 40% whole wheat flour along with a strong high gluten flour. But you really need to call it a wheat or wheaten pizza. If you put honey, call it wheat and honey. But unless you're using 100% whole wheat flour as your total flour, you really shouldn't be calling it a whole wheat pizza.
Okay, I see. Also, I've always wondered, Tim, about gluten. Can you tell me what is gluten, why it's good to have it in flour?
Sure. The flours that we use in the baking industry the term flour is actually defined as flour that's milled from wheat. Other type of flours, you really need to use a descriptor, call them rice flour, corn flour, things like that. But the word flour is meaning that it was milled from wheat. And wheat is the cereal grain that has the highest amount of gluten-forming proteins. Rye has a little bit, but really wheat is full of gluten-forming proteins. The two proteins that are in wheat, gliadin and glutenin, are the two protein components that give you this gluten structure. One of them has more of an elastic nature, the other one has an extensible nature. So when you take flour, you put it in a mixer, add water to it, what you do is you start to develop this gluten structure. The glutenin, the gliadin, and proteins come together and give you this viscoelastic dough. You have the ability to stretch it, but it also has a memory and it comes back into its shape. So wheat is unique in the fact that it's really the only major cereal grain that has gluten-forming proteins.
I see. Tim, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today and educating me about flours and gluten. This is Tim Huff from General Mills. Tim, can you tell us your website?
Yes, it's www.gmflour.com.
Tim, again, thank you very much. I wish you well.
Thanks.